Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Napoleon and today we're back with another Enlisted video, and today we're going to be talking about the latest Battle Pass weapon, and that's the Hino rifle, which is actually a pretty good rifle for the Japanese, if not one of the best semi-automatic rifles for the Japanese as of right now. So in today's video, we're going to be covering this rifle. Of course, this video has been made possible for the friends at Discord. If you haven't liked, subscribed, or joined the Discord, I highly suggest that you do, but that's it, let's get started. The Hino rifle was created in the midst of the Russo-Japanese War, with Komuro seeing an opportunity to create and sell his quote-unquote innovation to the Imperial Japanese Army. It was then demonstrated before Emperor Meiji and his future son Emperor Taisho in 1904. However, reports state that these were quote-unquote unimpressive or the weapon failed to meet the Imperial standards. Either way, they were then rejected by his designer, and in 1905, the Imperial Japanese Army would then adopt the Type 38 Arasaka as their new service rifle. This rifle had a pretty unusual blowback forward mechanism. Unlike most firearms, where the breech moved, this breech will stay put while the barrel itself moved, which was actually kind of interesting. To clock the rifle, you have to pull back the receiver and lock the barrel in a forward position to make a small catch, and then that left an opening in which you could put the bullet to load. Putting the trigger to release the catch, letting the barrel slide back until it made contact with the bullet. As the bullet tip entered the barrel, another catch will stop the barrel from moving entire further, which is actually pretty unique for guns at this time. And considering this is 1905 that this gun was created, it was actually pretty dang unique. When the shot fired, the force pushed the barrel forward again, and then reopened the breech, ejecting the shell, and the cycle will repeat because this is a semi-automatic rifle. But of course, you're not here to talk about guns, and we're not here to talk about how guns work. We are just here to talk about how this works in games, so let's move on to the stats. In terms of these stats, the Hino rifle is chambered in 6.5mm, hit power of 13.9mm, which is actually pretty dang good, and has a rate of fire of 280, which is also dang pretty good, and the reload time is 3.5, which is once again pretty good for this tier, which is tier 3, and of course the shot deviation is 32, vertical of 23, horizontal of 22, 15 round magazine, and it is in semi-automatic, which is pretty good. So let's move on to the verdict since everything is covered. This weapon is at BR3, and before we even talk about the gun's attributes, we have to say that BR3 is one of the worst tiers that Enlisted could ever give a weapon. Although from the latest prelims, Enlisted is trying desperately to get a lot of new stuff for BR3, so BR3 is not that bad. But BR3 as of right now is still pretty bad because BR3 has the unfortunate ability to uproll, meaning it can fight against tier 5s, and no one really wants to fight that, especially if you don't have tier 5 stuff, and you're only tier 3. So BR3 is kind of undesired. However, this weapon in itself is a different story. For one, for Japan, this is a 15 round magazine or semi-automatic rifle. Even at tier 4, you don't even have this rifle that has 15 rounds. This is not even mentioning that the rifles beforehand, in which the semi-automatic rifles as of right now only have 5 rounds, and 15 rounds, it's a massive difference. Of course, in the reload department is actually pretty similar, and that is saying a lot, considering the Hay rifle has a reload time of 3.2, and this rifle has a reload time of 3.5, and it holds 15 rounds, and not to mention the reload is via a magazine, which means that if you want to reload, all you have to do is change the magazine, unlike the Manuel rifle, which you literally have to put stripper clips one at a time. This means that reloading is actually pretty dang quick. As a matter of fact, I find reloading to be very, very easy. The sights on this rifle is actually pretty unique for Japanese rifles, considering most Japanese rifle is essentially a circle and a dot. As a matter of fact, I think this is one of the most unique sights in the game, but that is another issue, and a lot of people are gonna hate this sight or love this sight. And of course, the only other issue about this weapon is just the placement, but everything else is amazing. As a matter of fact, a lot of people have been saying that this is a very good, and I honestly think this is a very good rifle. The only issue that you might come out with is the horizontal recoil, which could be an issue at long range, but that is long range, and I do think that you should be using this at closer range, and although it shouldn't be as bad as some other rifles, this rifle is actually pretty good at long range, meaning that you can use it both at long range, short range. Pretty much if you can kill an enemy, it's a good gun, and it's very good at taking out enemies, especially at range and not at range. So without further ado, this is the gun. I honestly really like this weapon, and honestly I think this is a very good addition for the Japanese. The only issue once again is at BR3, but overall it's pretty good and highly suggest that you get it. That's it, without further ado, this is all it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.